Okay, so you guys have been thinking about ratio tables lately, and today we're going to use the idea of a ratio table to help us figure things out on a graph. So let's pretend that our class has 25 kids in it. Oh, our class does have 25 kids in it. But here's the thing we're going to pretend. We're going to pretend that I knew what each of you likes as a favorite ice cream flavor. And so I made this graph, and it's our class's favorite ice cream. And here you see some ice cream cones, and you see the number of students down here, and you see the flavors. So my question to you, my first question is, there are 25 kids in our class. I wonder if you can figure out why there are not 25 ice cream cones. So pause the video for a moment and study this chart. See if you can figure out how many kids each ice cream cone is worth, or how many kids does each ice cream cone represent. Well, I gave you a hint and told you there are 25 kids, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half ice cream cones. So that's an interesting number, right? So did you figure out that 12 and a half plus 12 and a half equals 25? That means that each of the ice cream cones is 2 kids. So 2 kids here like chocolate. 2 more kids like chocolate. 2 more kids like chocolate. 2 more kids like chocolate. So here we have at the bottom the number of students. So I want you to think to yourself for a moment, how many students like strawberry ice cream? You're right. 2, 4. 4 students like strawberry ice cream, and you can see that here. 4 students like strawberry ice cream. But what's up with this 1/2? Well, we have 2, 4, 6 whole ice cream cones, 3 whole ice cream cones. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 students like chocolate chip plus half. So a half of an ice cream cone equals 1 student. So this is 7, the 7th ice cream cone, 7th student. 7 students like chocolate chip ice cream. All right, let's keep going. So here we're going to start thinking about a ratio table. So 1 ice cream cone equals 2 kids. So if you see a whole ice cream cone, that means 2 kids like that flavor. And so if you see 2 ice cream cones, that means 2 plus 2 more kids, or 4, like that flavor. And 3 ice cream cones, and you could count by 2s, or you could say 3 times 2. But you could say 2, 4, 6 kids like vanilla ice cream. What if there were 4? Well, 4 times 2, you can look right here on our key, 2, 4, 6, 8 kids like chocolate ice cream. 5. Well, we don't have 5, but if we did, what would it be? 5 times 2, because each of these is worth 5. 2. 5 times 2 equals 10. Okay, and then so 6 ice cream cones would equal 6 times 2. Each ice cream cone is worth 2. 6 times 2 is 12. And as you can see, what's happening down here? We're counting by 2s. So this one is 14, and this one's going to be 16. 8 times 2 is 16. Now my question for you is, what happens if there's an odd number of kids? Because right now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are all the even numbers, right? So what do we do if we have 3 kids, like this, or 3 kids, not 3 ice cream cones, 3 kids. Right. We have to have a half an ice cream cone. And that's why we have what this situation is here. So we have 7 kids who like chocolate chip ice cream, which is why we have a half of an ice cream cone. All right. So today your assignment is going to be to look at this ice cream bar graph, which is on page 63 in your student book. And you're going to use this ice cream bar graph to answer these questions. So you can do this here in your math notebook, or you can work in your student book. If you work in your student book, you're going to make sure that you take a picture and put it on top of the slide. Don't create a new slide, just insert it right on top of the slide by clicking on the mountain and clicking on the camera. All right, so which is our class favorite? You look at this and see if you can think about, this is a different kind of graph. This is a bar graph, but the information is the same. So this is called a pictograph because it uses pictures, and this is a bar graph. So the first question is, which is our class favorite? Which flavor is the least favorite? Write at least 3 observations about your graph. This is your graph. This kind of graph is called a bar graph. The other graph you made is called a picture graph. What kind of graph do you think is better and why? Okay, and then on page 65, you're going to be looking at these 2 graphs. They're sort of the same. Picture graph, bar graph. Oops. This class took a survey of their favorite ice cream. The results are shown above. These graphs show the same information, so you can choose which graph you like the best and use the information to show how much a half an ice cream cone, how many kids is a half an ice cream cone worth? How many kids is 1 ice cream cone worth? How many kids is 2 ice cream cones worth? And 3. So remember that when you have a graph, you always need a title. Which of these 4 flavors do you like the best? And then each side, these are called labels. So this is a label and this is a label, ice cream flavors. And here are the number of students. What do you notice that is different here? Yeah, on this one, the students are down below and the flavors are going up and down. All right, then you're going to keep using those 2 same graphs to answer B, C, D, and E. And remember, make sure that you're using words when you explain how you know. And then this is just some work for you to continue working to improve your addition and subtraction skills and a little bit of multiplication. So remember, again, that this side of the equation and this side of the equation has to end up being the same amount. So 8 is the same as 12 minus what? 12 minus what equals 8. Okay, so make sure that you're balancing the equation. The equal sign is in the middle. The teeter-totter has to be exactly even. You don't want one side to have more than the other. Both sides have to be exactly the same thing. All right.